Today we're checking out Fuzz 500 million power Rise of Kingdoms account, because let me tell you, this account is cracked. He's got the commanders, he's got the equipment, he's got the city themes, and today we're going to review it all. Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and today we're checking out Fuzz account, and let me tell you, this thing is absolutely stacked. Now, I play with Pho in 1254. That's in Rise of Kingdoms, my home kingdom where my main account lives. And also, I play Call of Dragons with Pho. But Pho's main account is in 2489 with Baba and many other big players, and they are building an absolutely massive kingdom. So I was really hyped when Pho gave us this opportunity together to get a look at all the crazy stuff that he has in his account. Because yeah, Pho is an OG in this game. He's been playing for a really, really long time, and he's collected, as you can see on your screen, a really impressive number of the legendary city themes. So whatever sort of rally he wants to do, whatever sort of garrison he wants to do, he's got the stats that he can put on there to make it happen. Now, typically in this style of video, I like to do a number of things and consider using the timestamps to navigate through to whichever portion you want. I like to get a look at all the city themes they have. I like to get a look at all of their legendary equipment, get a look at all of their legendary commanders, and talk a little bit about which pairs they think are the very best in their roster. What are the 7 marches they bring to the field, given that they could have access to literally anything that they want? And then at the very tail end, I typically cover some interview questions, and we'll do that here as well. Now, if you like Rise of Kingdoms guides, where we check out the inner workings of the most stacked accounts in the game, consider subscribing to the channel. This is not the first time I've reviewed an insane account, and there will be many more. So thank you for honoring my commitment to showing you these accounts by tossing a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. I can't believe he's got so many damn legendary city themes. Holy cow! Including the new infantry theme, which I have a temporary version of that on my restart account. But enough with the city themes. I think it's time that we get a look at some of the more juicy stuff. Things like the resources, the speed ups, some of these other things that will be critical to waging war. And heck, even the stats on this account are, of course, absolutely cracked. So let's get a look now at the stats on Fuzz account, because 28.5 billion kill points is a really big number, and the overwhelming majority of that, by the way, is from tier 5s. And if we get a look at his dead count, which is also a really, really big number, 204 million is insane. That's 2 billion power worth of dead troops, assuming they're all tier 5s. So yeah, that is, I mean, what do you even say, man? Huge contributor in fights. All around, man. All around. Now, when we look at the commanders that he's got in his roster, I think the thing that's most noteworthy is probably the commanders he doesn't have expertise. He does not have Charlemagne. I feel like that is a really funny statement about the quality of Charlemagne. One of the only commanders Pho does not have expertise. By the way, for those of you wondering, Pho is also the name of a Vietnamese noodle soup that is really, really tasty. Of course, you got to get that spicy if you're doing it, but without, I suppose, going off the deep end. His name is I Am Pho. The namesake is the soup. And boom, Thutmose, also not maxed, but getting closer. 5'4", 5'2". You can get them from gold keys. You can get them from daily special. Margaret and Bobber, also not maxed. Really understandable why he would not have those particular heroes maxed. And again, a big thank you to Pho for sending me this footage. Especially, he did this on short notice, and I've been sitting on this video for just a little while. I like to make these videos and have them ready for when there isn't other content I want to jam out. I'm like, oh, okay, today's a perfect day to get out that inside look at a really crazy account. And today's one of those days, man. So let's get a look now at what's in the bags, all right? What is in the bags? Because as my KVK opponents have reminded me, what's in the bags is absolutely critical. So if we get a peek, ooh, okay, speed ups. Let's start there. Pho can do some damage. 3,300 hour-long training speeds. He has a lot of, by the way, 30-minute training speeds as well. A small amount of healing speeds, which, of course, those get used pretty quickly. And 31,000 1-hour speeds and 1,400 3-hour speeds. Wow. Okay. Let's freaking go, man. 107 of the 4-hour boosts is kind of nuts. GG. Oh, by the way, the resources he has open is really cracked too. I mean, 16 billion, 14 billion, 11 billion, 8 billion. But let's look at this equipment. Let's look at this KVK equipment. He's got Cav Sword, Infantry Hammer crit, Archer Bow crit, Cav Helmet crit. He's got the Infantry Helmet and the Archer Helmet crafted. And then as we scroll down through this equipment here, you'll notice he's got a ton of these iconic, a ton of these crit. He does, in fact, have an infantry crit leadership set. He also has an infantry set. It looks like he's got the 6-piece bonus running, which is kind of cool. He's got the 6-piece archer set twice. He's also got some miscellaneous pieces, including things like Hope Cloak. Also, Milky Way is kind of a cool pick. And then for the accessories, 2 crit rings. Wow. That is kind of nuts. Multiple daggers, which can be strong. And 4 war drums, even a Seth's Call, is an interesting tech play that, like, I would really love to do some testing with that thing, to be perfectly honest. So that is a lot of accessories. And I will say, as far as equipment goes, the accessories really level up your damage a lot. So if there was any one thing to focus on, accessories are pretty good. The one thing I might have either missed or not have noticed is that there aren't maybe as many rings as I might have expected, but he also has more crit rings than I do. So there's definitely value if you're a rally or garrison to having more crits rather than more rings. So I think I understand that choice. In terms of troops, 15 million infantry, 14 million cavalry, almost 14 million archers, and barely any siege, which is how it should be. There's not a lot of reason to have siege on an account like this, man. The final thing we can look at is the way he's deployed some of these commanders and the equipment that he has on them rather than the equipment in the bags. But for those of you wondering, what were Fuzz's 7 marches at the time that I was chatting with him? The 7 marches that he would bring to the field include Guan with Tariq ibn Ziyad or Sargon, Nevsky with Joan, XY with William, Boudica with Tommy, Henry and Nebu together, Skippy with Honda, and the last march is potentially reserved for rally or garrison, and that is Hera with YSS or Tariq ibn Ziyad and Pakal, which is arguably one of the very best rallies at this moment in time. So that makes a ton of sense. Now, Fuzz said that his rock journey and his best part of his journey had to be when he fought for 1 year straight with 1254, which I have to say is absolutely true. Let me finish his message and then share my thoughts here. He said, even though people think there's a lot of drama and beef, there was a huge mutual respect for each other. And also when I joined 556 from 1612 was another big moment for Fa, and he built it into one of the top 5 kingdoms together with others. And now he's also helping run 2489 with Arvix, which also is where Baba is. And he says they're going in the right direction. And let me tell you, if there's someone whose judgment I would trust, it would be Fuzz. So he also sent a few pictures of armaments that he had, which I'll toss up onto the screen to give you a sense of some of the armament combinations. One of these, by the way, is 6% all damage. You'll look at the stats and you'll be like, okay, but then feast your eyes on the all damage on some of these sets. It is a crazy amount of all damage and shows you that that is where Fa is certainly putting some of his emphasis. And as you saw in the video, he's got 267 epic crates that are unopened and 55 legendary crates still to open up, which is kind of nuts. I can say from my interactions with Fa that he's super chill and fun to play with and also super committed. We just spent literally like 4 or 5 hours doing a world first takedown of a boss in Call of Dragons. And I know this is a Rise of Kingdoms video, but the point is that, like, I'm pretty sure he played the entire 5 hours until we beat the boss and we knocked out the world first takedown since the global launch of the game. I get that the beta servers did a takedown, but this is different. It's the first global launch takedown. It was cool. And I mean, dude, you got to put in a lot of hours. I think we wiped like 13 times. I mean, anyways, all that to say, Fuzz committed. I definitely am enjoying playing Call of Dragons with him, and a big thank you again for sending us this footage to share with everybody. The account is absolutely stacked, and if you want to see me cover one of their KVKs, definitely let me know down below in the comments. Alternatively, I'll have 2 videos in the end screen for you. One of them is going to be Fat Hand's absolutely stacked account. The other is going to be none other than Justin's 1.8 billion power account. This was before he hit 1.8 billion. If you want to see what's under the hood, it's all in the video, card in the end screen.